Jade and I were both working at the Urban Nutrition Initiative, and we're doing school garden programs and nutrition education in public schools in West Philly, and sort of heard that this land was available from the water department and wrote a proposal to them with our idea to start a farm here. And they liked it and helped us get started. That was in 2005. So 2006 was our first growing season.
One of the major reasons that motivated us to start the farm and to start growing food in this neighborhood is that there is no grocery store. It's what's called a food desert, and there's a lack of options. I feel strongly that everyone deserves these options. We all deserve the option to eat locally and to be able to feed ourselves with the food that we culturally want to be eating, and that makes sense to us as far as recipes and as far as our family's history, and that we also deserve the option to have food without pesticides. Lots of cucumbers today. Yeah. Lots of okra. Hello.
Hi, how are you? Cool, you harvested the honey.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
And this is flat-leaf parsley.
Flat-leaf parsley, and there's some thyme here. This is the parsley also. This is thyme, yeah. They were out in the sun, so they're like a little bit wilted, but they'll come back. Oh yeah, there you go. Okay, that's
so
2 in 1.
Yeah,
you found the 2 in 1. We've really tried to hold the line between like getting only about a third of our budget from grants, which has kept us from really chasing money and changing our mission statement and changing our educational programs to go after that money, which is what a lot of nonprofits do. I've never run a nonprofit before. I never really anticipated it, and it certainly isn't the way that I think that I always want to function, or that even this farm should always function. But I definitely think that it's the way to get this work done at this moment in time and in Philadelphia right now.
16. Are you the bug counter?
I'm counting them. There's 16.
Okay.
No, Phil, no. Is that a spider?
That is a beetle.
No, right there. It's right there. I don't know what just happened to me.
I didn't see it.
So why we need the bugs for?
To feed the chickens and to get them off the plants, because they're eating the plants.
Oh God, one of them just crawled out.
Don't let them out. If they start crawling out, shake them back down to the bottom.
There we go.
I got more for you.
We got a lot of them.
The more we get, the better it is for the plants and the chickens. You see more?
Every time I see one crawling on the wall, I will suck it down.
That's a good job. Very important.
Well, the bees could get it, but what's this box made of? What's all this made of?
Wax.
What happens to wax when you get it really hot? Yeah, exactly. So we can't really leave it in the sun because it'll get.
That's why you put it right here.
Okay, so this is how you get them. Yeah, you know what that sticky is? That's it's pollen. This is all pollen that they like lock up their pollen, you know, from flowers, and they like glue up their houses with it. I can see if we have another one. Let me see if I have another hot tool.
They seem fun. Oh, look at that bug on my hand.
everything for the nonprofit world feels really outcome driven, and so many of our interactions with especially the kids in the neighborhood are so informal, where kids will just show up and want to explore, check things out, and it's hard to capture that in a grant report and measure what the outcome is of that, but it seems like a really important part of our work.
We planted these beans about a month ago, and we've been watching them ever since.
Right here. This is my row, and this is his row. You should really weed on that.
I don't think people come out to our volunteer days and to our community work days, or even just stop by in the neighborhood, because everyone wants to grow up and to be a farmer. Like, they don't. Most people don't. Most people really prefer that other people grow their tomatoes and corn. But people want to be part of something bigger than themselves. It's like an intrinsic human need to like be working with other people and be meeting other people and be in community with other people and be outside and be touching the earth. And I think that that's what's so cool about having the farm here. Like that's what this space that we've created is able to do in this way that a lot of people have been really accepting of and really responding to.
I grew up with my father and my mother working the land, and I said to myself, I would never do it when I got big, but it's so much in my blood that I can't just break away from it. Anytime that it comes around this time of the year, I hate to see Mother Nature waste. I can't see Mother Nature just waste like that. I got to do something with the land. You can just pick fresh stuff from the farm, like tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers, peppers, and carrot, and made a salad right on the farm.
Looks okay.
Find the bear gloves. Too small a bowl. Too small a bowl.
So I was living not too far away from here in West Philly and heard about the Mill Creek Farm and ended up over here one day volunteering, and I had done a bunch of gardening prior to that, but not a whole lot of farming or gardening on this scale. And so I started volunteering fairly regularly and getting involved. And then that eventually led me to leave Philadelphia and work on other larger production farms in other parts of the country. And then eventually I started working with a friend of mine who was a beekeeper and started helping out with the bees a little bit at Mill Creek Farm, and then eventually brought a hive of my own here a little over a year ago. And right now I can tell the way they're buzzing around my face that they'd rather not be interrupted. And they probably haven't been interrupted very much lately because not many people have been checking this hive. But in terms of their numbers, they seem great. There's plenty of bees here. There you can see one's stinging me, and the stinger it's barbed, so it gets stuck in your skin. You want to bite?
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Yeah.
Do it for you, because
yeah.
if you want me to, I sure will. But.
No.
It's dripping all over me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're welcome. You want some honey?
Yay.
No?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was like, no. Okay.
Thank you.
My God, that's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
Mm. Nice.
Oh my goodness. Stupid goodnesses.
Joe, come here.
Yeah, you guys are dripping.
So there was houses here, and in the late 60s they were demolished because the creek that runs under this land, hence the Mill Creek neighborhood, compromised the foundations of these houses. And so there's a rumor going around now that the Philadelphia Housing Authority is going to try to do that again, which is to build houses here, which would be yet again unsafe. The RDA holds the title for the land. The RDA leased the land to the water department, who then leased the land to us. The lease says that we have continuous use of the land for 99 years, but the lease was written in such a way that it can be broken at 30 days' notice, which is a really precarious situation for a farm to be in. So ever since we've gotten use of the land, we've been trying to organize with the community and the city to put the land into a land trust.
This stack of papers is a collection of letters of support that we got for the Mill Creek Farm and the community garden to be preserved in a land trust. And we got them from neighbors, from students who visited the farm, from volunteers, from community gardens. I think we got about 180 letters. Dear Councilwoman Blackwell, I am writing on behalf of one of the most inspiring projects I've ever seen in this city, the Mill Creek Farm at 49th and Brown. As I'm sure you're aware, this farm has been a labor of love for not only its two founders, but for so many in the Philadelphia community. As an educational project that gives neighborhood youth a constructive, nonviolent space to learn and relax, and as a valuable provider of affordable, chemical-free produce for a community where these are often lacking, Mill Creek Farm is an example of the kind of green enterprise our city has the opportunity to promote. The idea of setting up a garden or a farm and then having to move on is very discouraging. It doesn't make people want to do that work. And especially for a site like ours that so many people have put work into, there's a real investment that a lot of people want to be able to come back and see that what they contributed to is still there.
I'm clearing the okra out of the rows because winter is coming up, and when the ground freezes, their roots will be strangled. So this is a way of putting the plants out of their misery. Okra is from Africa. That means it's not used to being in the city. I'm from Virginia. I'm not used to being in the city. So yeah, me and this okra had to get used to living in the city. The West Philadelphia part of the city too, because that's where it did a lot of its maturing, and that's where I did a lot of my maturing. Look at these. They'll use these to reseed the field next year.
You got those? There's this.
Thank you.
This kind?
Yeah.
Great. So that's $2. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you.
Despite the very hot, dry weather we had this year, we had a good growing season and our sales were up. I think more people are finding out about us and choosing to come to our farm stand. And I think WIC recipients got more coupons this year, so I think that helped drive our business a little bit too. Even if we don't have secure access to the land, we're still planning for our next season. Have a good holiday, Kashan. Okay. See you soon.